Welcome back, Forester Dragons, for the last step of our butterfly caterpillar chrysalis cocoon. So we're going to go ahead and start adding color, but we forgot one thing last week. We forgot to add some little chrysalises or cocoons hanging under our branches. So I'm going to show you how to do that too. Remember, we are talking about space. So space is in this case, we are talking about, well, positive space is anything you draw. And the negative space is this open area, what's left over, this space, this empty space, okay? And it is an element of art. And let me see if I can show you again. Grab it. So here it is, our space. Okay, so here we go. So to add our chrysalis today, I am just going to take my marker or your black crayon, whatever you have, and I'm going to add a little line under one of the petals or whatever. And then I'm just going to put an oval with lines on it. I may add a couple. Just a little oval with curved lines, you can see. Okay, one for each caterpillar. Now I'm ready to start adding my color. Now, we are going to be using a crayon to color. Okay, so in saying that, we're not using markers to color. The only place you might use marker is if you don't have watercolors to paint the empty space. But other than that, we're going to be using crayons to color everything. I don't want you to take just one crayon. I want you to use lots of colors. So in this case, I'm going to make the center of this flower purple. But I want to use lots of colors, so I'm not going to use this purple everywhere. I might repeat it one other time somewhere in my picture. I think I might repeat it on the stripes here. I might do purple. Now, Miss Eskew needs you to color hard when you are painting. So what that means with the crayons is if I color lightly, like this, you can see that white paper. But if I push hard, then you cover up that white paper so that when you are painting later, watch. If I take a color, let's use this blue, I guess. If I take it and I try to paint over this purple, do you see how it resists it? But on the one I colored lightly, it's going to get in there and stay. Okay, so be sure that you are creating that resist and coloring hard with the crayon, as hard as you can. Okay, so I repeated that purple. I'm going to pick a different color. So for the petals, I think I want to do, and I don't have to do them all the same color, but I think I'm going to do them kind of this shade of, it's fuchsia, but I want to intermix that with another color. Okay, so we're going to use plum and fuchsia. So I'm just going to keep coloring. Remember, putting a lot of pressure to be sure that I can keep the water out. Okay. Now I'm going to pause it in a minute and I'm going to keep coloring. I'm going to color all my caterpillars, I'm going to color my butterflies, and then I'm going to come back in a few minutes and show you how to glue the butterflies and paint the background. And you'll be able to add I have an odd number of petals, so I'm just going to do this one also. You're going to be able to add the antennas for your butterflies if you want. Okay. And then I would go in between that darker palm. So I'm just using more than one color. Okay. I will come back in just a minute and show you. Okay, I brought you back. I'm gonna have colored one butterfly on my paper. I'm gonna finish my other butterfly so you can just kind of watch. So whatever I do on one side, I'm gonna do on the other. Creating that balance. Whenever you want to be able to see through the crayon, like on the face, I would use lighter colors like oranges or yellows so that even coloring you'll still be able to see the eyes and the mouth. And then I think I want for okay, so I finished the other butterfly. So now I am ready to paint, or you can use markers and water if you don't have paint, but I'm going to go ahead and in my case I'm going to use paint. Now I don't want to use a color that I've already used a lot on my paper, which I have a lot of purples. So I want to use another color for the background. I want to use a bright color, so I'm actually going to utilize my yellow. And I'm going to start to paint. Now, if you're using watercolors, it's very important that you use lots of water. That is the first word in watercolors. So you always want to be dipping in the water, which is right here for me, and then into the paint. And you just start to fill in all of your empty space. And in my case, I can mix in a little orange too if I want. I can find little orange and give it some contrast in the sky. You can blend whatever colors you want to make your sky. I'm going to pause mine and finish filling in the empty space, and then I'm going to come back and show you the last step. Okay, you can see I have filled in all the empty space with paint. Now all I'm going to do is decide where I want to put my butterflies. I can even fold them in half a little bit and have them up. It's up to you if you want to keep them flat or prop them up. I would just put a little bit of glue along the back and then stick it wherever you want it. If you want to just have them flat, you can put glue all over the wings too. See, I'm just putting it along the edge here. Okay, then I'm going to take my black marker, or you can do a crayon, Coming from the head, I'm just going to create a little spirally line. And I'll hold it up and show you in just a minute. Okay, so I'm all done. You can see I've got my butterflies, my caterpillars, my chrysalis, and we learned what space was, right? Negative space is empty. Positive space is the item you drew. I hope you had fun, and I'll see you around. Bye, Forester Dragons.